What is up? It's your girl Lex. Welcome back to my channel. It's another weekend vlog. And if you're new, it's good to see you. It's shot day again. I feel like shot day comes around so quick. We already got our shot prepped. We got our tea prepped. We're going to get everything ready. So when it's time to take the shot, we can just and go. This morning before work, I hopped on the scale and I was 207.6. As y'all know, last week, I think I was 208.6. I don't know. I'll put the results right here. But I figured we would quickly go through them together because y'all, I'm literally 2 pounds away from being 40 pounds down. This is really insane. First of all, I never thought I would get up to 245. And y'all, I'm 5'2". Barely that. I'm really like 5'1", some, but I just rounded it up to 5'2". I'm 5'2", and I got up to 245. So to know that I'm like back down to 207, almost 40 pounds down, and we're not done. We're not done. We got a ways to go. We're actually about halfway to my goal weight. What I said is I was going to get to about 170, and then I was going to reevaluate from there if I wanted to start pulling back off the medication, because I'm thinking I want to be somewhere between the 150, 160 range. I feel like I might be comfy at 170, but that's the weight that I want to get back to before I reevaluate if I want to keep going or if I want to go into maintenance stage. Let's quickly go through these results. So my first shot I took on the 29th of January. That is when I started my tirzepatide GLP-1 journey. And I started at 245.8. And as of today, June 11th, I am 207.6 pounds. That is 38.2 pounds down. I love that for me. My BMI has went from 45.2 to 38.2. That's a 7, point change in my BMI. Body fat has went down from 59% to 48.2%. That's a 10.8% difference. Fat-free mass has went up from 100.8 pounds to 107.6 pounds. My subcutaneous fat has went from 50.1% to 41.4%, which is a 8.7% difference. My visceral fat has went down from 26 to 20. That's a 6-point change, y'all. That's so good. Surprisingly, my muscle mass has went up from 94.8 pounds to 101.2 pounds, which is a 6.4 pound difference. I'm shocked by that, y'all, because I have not been in a gym. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you get on the GLP-1 and you're supposed to go to the gym. You should. Don't be like me, be better than me, okay? I have not been in the gym. I've never really been a gym girly. I chose to really focus in on my nutrition when I started, which I've still been doing, but I have kind of been teeter-tottering off of it lately. I need to get back right. But I chose to focus on my nutrition because that was a big part in why I started the GLP-1 anyway. I have a bad relationship with food, not necessarily being lazy or not being active. I have an issue with emotionally eating, overeating, and when I do eat, making the wrong food choices. So for me, the GLP-1 journey was meant to help me develop better relationships with food. And the good thing about it is it does something to your brain chemistry that really helps you say, hey, okay, maybe I shouldn't get the fries. Maybe I should get the salad. Or dang, when I ate those bag of chips, they didn't taste right. So I don't really want that anymore. It does that to you, and I felt like I needed that to help me get back into a habit of eating cleaner. So that's really good that my muscle mass has went up, and I haven't been working out. And y'all, my BMR hasn't changed that much, and I'm thinking, again, that's because I really haven't been in the gym. Neither has my metabolic age, which is crazy because I'm not even 30 yet. Those are my results. I think that's pretty good for what, 6 months being on a GLP. I wouldn't say I'm a super responder, but my body did react really well to the medication, and it's been going pretty good for me so far. So yeah, we're gonna wait our 30 minutes for the medication to come to room temperature, and then I'll hop back in with y'all and we'll take our shots. Am I the only one that gets a little bit of like anxiety knowing that I'm about to take a shot? I remember before I started my GLP-1, I was like, I don't know how I feel about injecting myself every week. I don't know, maybe I need to find me a pill or something. Normally, every time I take my shot, I go ahead and open my Me Again app. Not sponsored, by the way. But I really do love the app because I can go in and like, you know, track everything for my shot day. I can go in and track my medication levels, my fiber, my protein, my water, all of that. It tracks my goals as well, my steps. You can log your side effects. One thing I really like about it is it keeps a log of all of your shots that you take. And the main reason I like this app is because sometimes I don't remember the last place that I actually took my shot. So I like the fact that when I log my shot, I can go in and see where exactly I put that shot. So last week I did lower left. So now I know I need to go back to the right of my stomach. So normally what I'll do is I'll go on 4 different places in my lower stomach. I'll do like right here, then I do here, then I do here, then I do here. Then I just kind of rotate it out. I know a lot of people say you're supposed to switch body parts. Last time I tried that, I ended up having a bunch of big old mosquito looking spots on my leg. No ma'am. We're gonna go ahead and prep for today's shot. I just take my alcohol wipe and I get the area that I know I'm going to take the shot in. Get it with the wipe really good. And wash your hands before you start, y'all. Are any of y'all on the shot? If y'all are, drop down in the comments. Let me know how your journey has been going. How do you like it? What are you on? Are you taking a pill? Are you on the shot? Are you on semaglutide or tirzepatide? Which one are you doing? Let me know how it's been going for you. All right. I kind of just give it a few thumps just to make sure I don't have any air bubbles in it. I always take a deep breath before I get ready to go in. I don't know why. I feel like I be having slight anxiety about it. But it's okay. I know I cannot be the only one. So we're just going to go ahead and get this out the way. Let's try again. Right. That's it. Shot over. I was struggling for a second there. Because sometimes, depending on certain spots, I'm like, ooh, I can feel that. And it acts like it doesn't want to go in. So I have to switch spots. But we good. So I'm going to go ahead and log it. I don't really have any notes. Same medication, same dosage. But this time it was lower right. So I'm going to save that. Did I feel any pain on the actual injection site? No, I did not feel any pain. So I'm going to leave that how it is. Log the shot. And I'm done. So that's pretty much it. I normally would take my shot and then again, go have me some peppermint tea. Make sure I don't feel nauseous or anything after the shot. And then typically I want to make sure I have one more high protein meal for the day. If not a meal, at least like a shake or something like that. Definitely get protein in one more time. So I'm going to do that. Did y'all enjoy last week's vlog? If y'all haven't watched my last 2 vlogs, girl, what you waiting on? What are you waiting on, honey? You're missing out. Matter of fact, you behind. I need you to go catch up. Anyway, I'm gonna go do some editing, and I also have some homework to do. I ain't really doing too much today. I gotta go back into the office tomorrow. If I don't pick the camera back up today, then I'll see y'all on tomorrow. We made it another week. Do I have any more corporate girlies that watch? If so, y'all know how it is every Friday. I think we all just be waiting to get to the weekend, to be honest. We have a quick little car chat. Let's have a quick little car chat. Last week, I was having a conversation with one of my friends about a TikTok that I saw, basically about this girl talking about how she doesn't really feel like she has like a main friend group, and that she's kind of gotten into this position of just being like check-up friends or check-in friends with people and not really being a part of anybody's core group. I was talking to one of my friends about this last week, and I feel like friendships as an adult, especially in Atlanta, is such a difficult thing to navigate, and I'm not quite sure why. Since high school, I've always found myself in groups of 3, which if y'all have ever been in friendships in groups of 3s, y'all know how it can get. It can either go really well or it can go really bad. And I feel like for the most part, the friend groups that I was in, when they were good, they were good. But when they were bad, it was a little rocky. And now that like I'm grown, I'm out of school, I'm not constantly, in class with people or in the caf with people or going to events with people, it's a little bit different navigating friendships. And I know for me, I've never really been a friend that felt like I gotta talk to you all day, every day. I gotta see you all day, every day. We gotta do every single thing together. I've never really been that person. Now, proximity may have made me more accessible, but I feel like for the most part, like I grew up the only child. I didn't have to do nothing with nobody. I didn't have to share nothing with nobody. It was always just me. So for the most part, I love my company. I love my own company. I love spending time with me. I think I'm funny. I think I'm relaxing. I think I'm all the things, right? So I never really felt like I just had to be around somebody 25/8. Atlanta is one of those culturally driven places. Everybody's tapped in Atlanta. Everybody got FOMO. Don't nobody want to miss out on nothing. I find myself running into people that almost want to just have social relationships with you, and I feel like a lot of the times that's how those friendships end up turning into the check-in group or the check-in friends, where y'all are not really doing life with each other. Y'all are living life with whomever, your main friend groups or yourself or whatever, and then you're coming back to this person and saying, hey, let's catch up. Let me tell you what's going on. To a certain extent, I understand that, but what we talking about? Let's get into the things. I like substance. I like depth. I don't like to feel like we tapped in on a superficial level. That's not the type of friends that I like to have. I like to have friends that it feels like a two-way street. You can pour into me, I can pour into you. I can learn something from you, you can learn something from me. You inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of friendships that I look for in this current stage of life. And I feel like you can't really have that with check-in friends. You can't really have that with check-in friends. I can't really get to know you and know your character and know what you're facing in life and what you're dealing with and all this if the only time we really get together is when it's time to get a couple of drinks and a good meal. And so that's cute in the getting to know each other stages. But I'm not going to hold you. After a few months or so, I kind of start feeling like, what we doing? What we talking about? And if I'm being real, the friends that I've gotten to the point to where I feel like we don't necessarily have to talk to each other every day, every week, are friends that I've put the time in, built the relationships with, and, you know, we have a long-standing relationship because we've put in the work, we've put in the time. So now I know you so well that when I haven't heard from you in a couple weeks, I'm not taking it personal because I don't know what your intentions are, or, oh, I'm thinking that you may have beef with me, or whatever. Nah. Well, we not feeling that way. For the most part, I know that when I haven't heard from a friend in a while, they locked in. They got something going on. And I feel like I can trust that because the friends that I do have around, they got something going on. They not just sitting around waiting on me to keep them entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like, they locked in on whatever they locked in too. What I will say is what I'm learning as somebody who does have an isolation issue that I'm working on. I also understand that in order to get to a certain place with people, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the work. You have to pick up the phone and call. You have to FaceTime. You have to make sure that you show up. You know, if they invite you somewhere, show up and support them. If they got something going on, support them. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that when you're actually intentional about building friendships with people, it's not just going out to eat. It's not just popping out at the party together. Yes, y'all can make memories together. Yes, y'all are having fun together. But what I realize is a lot of people in Atlanta do that, and then they look up and it's like you realize that you only kept people around because, one, accessibility, two, it was just cute and fun, and three, that's what we doing in the culture. I feel like I've been seeing that so much since I got to Atlanta, and I've been here since 2015. So I've been here for a little over a decade now. And I feel like I've seen so many different things when it comes to friendships here. I've experienced so many different things when it comes to friendship here. And the people that you build your true friendships with, the people that grow with you, those are the friendships that I'm starting to lean more into. Those are the friendships that I'm starting to appreciate so much more, because we all change consistently. None of us really ever stay the same. Some people do, which is unfortunate, because if you haven't changed, you're not growing. If you haven't grown, you're not learning anything. So for me, I am so big into leaning into those types of friendships where we can pour into each other right now, where we can grow with each other right now. And I just feel like we don't talk enough about finding friends that you are truly compatible with, especially as adults. It's easy to be friends with people that you are on a cheerleading team with. It's easy to be friends with women that you're in the same organization with. It's easy to be friends with people that you go to class with. But when you step out of those situations and y'all are not constantly in routine with each other, finding friends that are compatible with where you are in life or where you want to be in life is so much more important as an adult than accessibility and culture. And I'm learning that currently. And it's definitely not an easy journey. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like there are some friendships where I'm still sad that those friendships don't exist. There are some friendships where I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that I walked away from that because it's not you, it's me. I'm okay with walking away from friendships. I wasn't before. Especially if they're not serving either one of us. I completely feel what the girl was saying. But as adults, we have to do better about finding people that we're actually compatible to be friends with. Some people are just associates. And some people will be your close group that you make sure you talk to every single day, or that the friends that you stay sending TikToks and Reels to. Everybody is going to have different roles. I've learned that you got to let people play their role, but at the same time, you still have to have a standard for the type of friends that you want to have around you. And I'm going to end it on this. I wish that parents would teach their children more about how to be a good friend, what being a good friend looks like, or teaching them to have more standards around the friends that they choose to have. I don't think parents really go into depth with children about relationships. And I'm not talking about romantic. Not to say that romantic don't matter. Romantic matters too. But I don't see a lot of parents saying, you know, hey, what you did, that wasn't being a good friend. Or that wasn't very nice of you to do that. Next time you feel some type of way with your friend, why don't y'all sit down and actually talk about it and hash it out? Like, because I feel like if you start instilling those things into children young, while they're still arguing about little stupid stuff, because y'all know when we young, we ain't got nothing real to argue about. We just be arguing about some dumb stuff half the time. I feel like if you teach them that while they're young, then when they get older and they start having real conflict with other adults, people know how to utilize conflict resolution skills. Like, I feel like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like we lack conflict resolution skills, and we lack communication skills. We lack the ability to be vulnerable with each other. When it's time for me to start having kids, like, I want to teach them the little stuff that maybe most parents don't naturally think about. Like, not being so quick to cut everybody off. Not being so quick to be hot-headed. Being more mild-tempered and more conflict resolution driven. If we had more of that, a lot of us would probably fight for our relationships more. Okay? We would probably fight for our relationships more. Almost out here like we be out here fighting for these men. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because that was on my mind from last week. Just thinking about friendships and me trying to do better in my own friendships. I had that on my mind heavy today. But yeah, I'm about to go into this house I still have more homework to do because my assignment is due on Sunday. We're probably going to test some candles out today too, because I think I told y'all that I got a quote-unquote new wax. It's not new wax. I've tried it before, but I didn't try a bunch of different wicks with it. So we may burn some candles today and just see how the different wicks work in the wax. Yeah, it's probably going to be a slow afternoon. But yeah, I'll definitely come back and check in with y'all later. Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope you guys have been enjoying the vlog so far. If you have, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. We have a couple of things on the itinerary today. It's time for me to do something to my head again. So we're going to do a quick little wash day together. And I need to make some candles and some room sprays. So Father's Day is next weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and make him probably about 2 or 3 of some of my custom blends that I've already started working on. So we're going to make some candles and some room sprays for him. And then your girl got to tap back into being a student, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just not picking up the camera for real. Yeah, I stayed up pretty late last night, probably till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. After I did some homework, I edited the vlog. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. But we gotta keep pushing through, okay? After we do our wash day routine, we'll get into some candles and some room sprays. And then I don't know if I really have anything else planned for today, to be honest. We in the house with it, okay? We got the house to ourselves for now. Babe is out with his cousin Niani, so I figure this is the perfect time to get some content where I don't have to, think about others in the space. And I can just freely create with, no distractions. So, yeah, I am actually back relaxed. I think I went back relaxed at the top of the year in January. I'm not gonna lie, 2025 whoops my ass. And I was like, you know what? It's time to get back to me. So, the top of the year for 2026, I was like, I'm not doing this natural stuff with my hair no more. I don't have time for all that. I'm starting school. I'm trying to switch jobs. I need to be at peace all around. So your girl went back relaxed. Yes, I went back to the white crack. I did. And I have not regretted it since. So I apologize to all of the natural hair girlies. I am not natural anymore. I am relaxed. So if this hair care routine don't really resonate with you, I understand. But yeah, I'm gonna use some of the products that my hairstylist put me on to. I've only used them for a few times, but I'm not gonna lie, last time my press out, my press out was fire last time. Actually, yeah, my press out was on one of my previous vlogs where I said I had just done my hair. My hair was looking good, so I was like, okay, products, this is what happens when you get professional products. We just gonna make this a quick little montage because I already know if I was to talk through all of this, girl, we'll be here forever. We don't have time for that. So let's go ahead and get into the wash day.
Makeup, something I had to earn, but it's water in the morning and letting my body learn. This clean skin, soft light, this rest that shows in my eyes. This is how I hold my shoulders when I stop living rushed. I don't chase it, I make space for it. I come back to myself. Feel it, that's a woman's glow comes from inside. When I don't need a proof, when I say no without guilt, and I still keep my peace. It's being kind, staying sharp. It's knowing what I allow. It's moving slow on purpose and standing solid now. I protect my energy. I don't pour it out for free. I keep my senses. That's a woman's glow. Not loud, but you can feel it. That's a woman's glow. When I'm calm, it gets realer. That's a woman's glow. When I take my time, it's a light I don't chase. It's a light I find. Capri Luna, I stay steady. I don't beg the world to see. I don't need the room to crown me. I know what's in me. That's a woman's glow. It's health and it's healing.
Alright, y'all, this is it. I decided to do something just a teeny incy weensy bit different. I feel like I look like a little girl, but like in the cutest way. Because typically I just have my hair down, like pressed straight and down, or up in a clip. So I was like, let's switch it up a little bit. It ain't perfect. It ain't hair salon perfect, but it's cute. It's cute. I wanted to switch it up. I'm kind of tired of just having my hair in the middle part or side part or just pressed, and I was like, do something different. Do something different. So I switched it up just a little bit. Again, it's definitely giving little girl, but I feel like it's cute. I have no idea what it looks like in the back, so hopefully it don't look crazy. Yeah, I'll probably have this in my head for all of 2 days, maybe just the rest of this weekend. And then when I go back to work, I'll be right back in either a claw clip or just having it straight down. It is kind of cute though. Okay, it's cute. Maybe I'll wear it for more than a few days. Like I said, this is not a professional hairstyle, okay? This is just, I wash my hair. It's done now. Because I'm sure y'all can see, like, my hair is not slicked up, and I wasn't about to put all that stuff in my head because I just washed my hair. So, it's just going to have to give what is given, okay? That was fun, though. I'm not going to lie. That was fun trying to get the content. Y'all should have seen me trying to have the camera all angled perfectly in the doggone shower. That was a lot. It was a lot, but it was fun. It was fun to record, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, y'all, it is 4:02. I feel like I would have been done so much faster if I had not been trying to, get all the angles and whatnot. But it was cute. It was fun. I feel like I was getting water all over the place. But it was cute. It just took me so long. So I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm kind of tired, kind of hungry. I'm probably just gonna sit down and like chill out, eat something a little bit. And then later we'll probably come back and do like the candles and room sprays when Babe leaves for his gig. So I kind of am feeling it. I don't know. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later when it's time to make these candles and room sprays. Okay? I'll call you back. All right, y'all. We back. After a good old nap that I did not intend on taking. I ate that little taco and I took my behind right to sleep right there on the sofa. But now it's time to get to work. Also, I just wanted to say, remember when I told y'all that this hair probably was not gonna last this weekend? Child, I done already took it down and put on a little headband, honey, just keep it out my face. The ponytail started to hurt, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the way it was given, I'm just trying to get some rest. So that had to come on out my head. It was cute. It didn't even last me a full day, but it was cute. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna make some candles for my dad. I was thinking I was gonna make him 3 different candles, but I may just make him 2 and call it a day, to be honest, because honestly, those 2 I actually have labels for. I don't really want to give him no half-done products. Even though my label is technically still not done, I don't really want to give him anything that's half done. It's Father's Day. So I want to give him something that's going to be special and at least mostly complete. So we're just going to start off with putting these jars in the oven. And then we'll go ahead and measure out our wax and stuff. I normally just kind of do like a montage-ish with the candles and the room sprays because it can take a little long, but this time I figured, you know, we can come in here, we can chat a little bit. It'll probably be a mixture of montage and talking. Decided to change the angle so you guys can kind of see more of what I'm doing a little bit. But before I took a nap, I was actually watching the new Michael Jackson docuseries on Netflix. And I just kind of feel like, unless we about to be learning something new, don't make nothing else. I told y'all soy is so freaking finicky. And what you don't want is for the wax to pull away from the wall of the jar. And you also don't want there to be tons of like sinkholes or cracks on the surface. You want the surface of the candle to be as smooth as possible. So to help with those things, I always warm my jars. Where is my scale? So since we're making 2 candles today, I'm gonna try something a little different. Normally, if I'm not making at least 3 or 4 of the same scent, I'll pretty much make the candles in the smaller pouring pitchers. But I think what I'm gonna do is put all of the wax that I need into one container, actually use my wax melter, and then when I pour the wax into the containers, I'm thinking I'm just gonna pour enough in each one so that I can pour the 2 different oils into 2 different pouring pitchers. Typically, one candle needs about 11.1 ounces of wax. Since I'm making 2 candles, I'm gonna need 22.2 ounces of wax. I keep my coconut soy wax right here up under my table so that it's easy access. That'll work. It's a little bit over. Matter of fact, I am gonna put just a little bit extra in there. Sometimes putting a little bit extra wax in there never hurts, so that you can actually have the correct measurement. Sometimes the wax gets stuck to the side of the pouring pitchers and it's not really pouring into the candle jar like you want it to, and now it's point whatever ounces off. So I'm learning to put a little bit extra wax in there just to account for that. All right. I'm gonna pour all of the wax from this container into my actual wax melter. And then when it melts down to the temperature that I need it to, I'm gonna pour it separately into 2 small pouring pitchers. So for the most part on the side, I already have my temperature kind of set to where I want it to be, but I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and turn that on. So next we wanna go ahead and pour our oil for each. I've been doing 8% fragrance oil load in my candles. Basically, what that means is how much oil is in the mixture compared to the wax. So since I'm using 11.1 ounces of wax per jar, I need 0.9. Yeah, I need 0.9 ounces of fragrance oil, and that will make a total fill of 12 ounces. So I'm going to do Obsidian first. Give 0.9 ounces, which is basically almost an ounce. I think my dad is really going to like this one. Ooh, we almost got it perfect. Ooh. All right, that's fine. I went a little bit over, but nothing too much. I think I was telling y'all that that's the reason why I don't really like using the tops so much, because it pours out so fast. Jesus, can't get it off. I went completely over on this one. I knew it. I knew it. It's just like me to pour a little bit more than what I should. And because I know that, I always keep my pipettes around so I can take some of that oil out and put it back in my container. I just noticed I love calling everything a container. Everything is not a container. Some stuff is a bottle, Lex. Some stuff is a vessel, a jar. Like, I be wanting to call everything a doggone container. I mean, shoot, it contains something. Another thing that I learned when it comes to making candles, because everything is so temperamental, meaning there are so many different temperatures that you have to be aware of while making the candles, the best thing you could do is prep while you can. So typically I like to prep before I start making the candles, but since I'm only making 2, I feel like I can prep while I'm making it. So typically I'll go ahead and get the wick stickers and put my wicks on the wick stickers. I'll go ahead and create labels for it if I need to create a label for it. In this sense, I don't, because my labels are already created. I just need to wick them. So, and the good thing about having a setup that's right here, everything's right here in front of me, so I don't really have to do too much moving around to get what I need. Although I do have to step over here to grab my wicks though. The good thing about it is this scent can use the same size wick, so it's not like I have to label which wick is for what. I could just pull my wicks because they both use the same size wick, which is good. Do I have any other candle makers watching? Or any crafters watching? If I do, what do you guys make? What do you make? Do you make candles? Do you make room sprays, perfumes? How long have you been doing it? How's that journey going? I feel like I'm still relatively new in this candle making journey. I've only been making them for a little over a year. So I'm still new to the game, girl. But if y'all got some tips and tricks, inspirational stories, drop them in the comments. Let me know. Y'all see how Papa like to just hang out with me while I'm over here? One time I was making candles and just playing around, you know. I was talking to him throughout the whole process as if he was like my actual assistant. And ever since I did that, y'all, he loves to sit like right here and see what's going on. But I also have a clingy dog, so let's check on this wax. Looks pretty good. It's melting down pretty good. One thing I really love about this 2 auto wax melter is that it gets the job done fast, honey. When I'm just using like a hot plate and a regular pouring pitcher with wax in it, I just feel like the process takes so long. But this really speeds up the process, which I really like. I know a lot of people start with like the double boiler method where you put the pouring pitcher in hot water on the stove. Girl, I wasn't doing all that. I wasn't doing that. And honestly, I don't know why some people do it, if I'm being honest. It's so messy. It's such a messy process. I don't have time for mess. So right now we're around 170. This wax can get up to 200 degrees. So we're not quite where we need to be just yet, but we are getting there. Since we're very close to our temperature, I'm gonna go ahead and take my pouring pitchers down, because one thing you don't want to do is put hot wax into a cold pitcher because the temperature will drop entirely too fast. And I don't want to do that. Let's get our heat gun down so we can warm up these jars real quick. And that shouldn't take me long. Especially because they're smaller containers. That should be good for now. I think that'll hold a little bit of a temperature until I can pour the wax. Right now, our temperature is sitting at about 189. Honestly, I'm probably going to let it get to maybe about 195 and just go ahead and pour it, because I don't want these sitting too long or I'll have to rewarm them, and I don't want that. Quick water break. I'm going to bring my scale back over here and sit it right underneath the wax melter. So since I'm pouring in 2 separate pouring pitchers, I have to keep the scale up under it just to kind of make sure that I'm only putting a certain amount of wax into the pouring pitcher. Uh-oh. Oh, I threw my paper towel away. When I tell y'all I love having this board right here in front of me. Oh my God. It's wonderful. It really is. To just reach up and have it right there in front of you. My God. I'll leave this paper towel out this time. Now I didn't have to throw away the other one. We got mixing tools. That way we can just mix it up at the same time. Let's see. These are still pretty warm. I'm going to turn this air off temporarily. I can do that because I'm at home by myself. Anthony hates when I turn the air off. It cools all of my stuff down too fast. Do y'all like this view? Is this view decent to y'all? Do you feel like you can kind of see everything pretty well? I don't really have much going on over there except for the wax melter. I feel like I'm probably going to be doing everything I need to do right over here in this area. So I figured I would have y'all right there. I already got my wicks on the wick sticker. My wick setting tool is ready. My wick holders is ready. Let me tell y'all, this little tool right here is gonna be so helpful. Because when I start mass producing candles, I really don't have time to make sure I actually have 12 ounces in the candle. No, you can literally put this on the edge of the jar and just pour. And when it gets to the bottom of this, you know you need to stop pouring. I think it's called a wax level gauge. I don't know, something like that. It comes in different lengths too. So you can have it shorter, you can have it longer. I think I got the longest length, which is 0.75 of an inch. These are pretty cool. I got them from Norton Candle Supply. I also got my wick setting tool from Norton Candle Supply too. When I tell y'all, this is the best thing that she could have ever made. This is the best thing she could have ever made. Help you wick those jars faster. And you can always guarantee that they're going to be centered. Phenomenal. And then I love her wick holders too, because the way that they're made, once you put the wick in there, it holds it taut. You don't have to pull it too hard, and it keeps it in place. You don't have to worry about it fondling around and just losing its shape. I love it. Let's check this wax again. I forgot, I was making candles one time and something happened. I did something crazy. I got wax all over the place, y'all. And I was like, dang, I low-key wish I would have got that on camera because it was so wild. It was so wild. Like when I tell you stuff happens all the time when making candles and you just gotta learn to roll with the punches. If you mess something up, just keep it going. All right, so this is the temperature I want it to be at. 197. All right, it's going up. So I'm actually going to turn the wax melter off. So I need 11.1 ounces of wax in here. And then I'll do the same for the second pouring pitcher as well. Perf. We're going to switch that out. And this is why I said it's always good to put a little extra in there, because as you see, it's almost empty. And I hadn't reached my 11.1 yet. This is where it gets fun, but this is where, again, your temperatures really matter. So I'm going to put my little thermometer holders on here. And we're going to see where our temperature is at. We want to add in our oil around 185. Ooh, you got to learn how to multitask, honey. It is not for the weak. So it looks like we're doing good. This one is still up to about 190. This one is at around 187. So honestly, this would be the perfect time for me to go ahead and go get the jars and actually wick my jars. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add my oil because we're at 185 and 186. And now I normally give it a good mix for about 2 minutes. I might just stir it for less. We'll see though, because I still have to wick the jars. But I wanted to make sure I added in the oil at the right time. They smell so good. I'm probably not going to make the room sprays on camera because I feel like y'all have seen me do that a couple of times now. I don't know. I mean, if you enjoy it, y'all let me know. Y'all like when I do the candles and the room sprays, or are you mostly just interested in the candles? Pro tip, do not stir too fast. You don't want to create air bubbles in your wax. Those can create air pockets in your jars when you pour it, and that can just result in a bunch of different stuff like sinkholes, uneven surfaces. I don't want none of that. We're at 170 and 168, so that's perfect. That gives me a few minutes to go ahead and wick the jars. Uh-oh. I hate when that happens. No. There you go. I'm going to bring them slightly closer so you can actually see. There you go. All right. So I just press that firmly in, and I do it one more time for the second jar. And sometimes the wicks can be all bent up, and it makes it hard to do anything with it. Okay. All right. We're at about 160, 165 on each. So let's go ahead and pour. Always pour slowly. Now I think about it, I don't even know why I pulled down the wax levels. I don't know what to call those things. I didn't even know why I pulled those down because I poured the perfect amount for each. So there was really no need for me to pull those down. Maybe I just wanted to show y'all my cool little toys and gadgets. We're gonna take our wick holders and place those on the jars. All right. Pull that just a little bit, not too much. It doesn't need to be pulled a lot. I've been in situations where I've pulled too hard, child, and then the doggone wick sticker done came out, and now I gotta pour it in a whole new jar because once it comes up, it's not sticky anymore. All right, that's it. That didn't take long. That just took us about an hour for me, less than an hour for y'all, because I will not be putting this whole thing into the video. But we're gonna let that set, and we'll come back later and take a look at them and see how they look in the jars. They are still somewhat setting up, but for the most part, they're pretty solid. I did notice on this middle one, I don't know if y'all can see, it's starting to crack just a little bit on the surface, but it's not too bad. That's nothing that a heat gun cannot fix. And this one, I'm not really seeing any crazy cracking or settling. No lumps, no bumps. So honestly, I'm thinking this one probably just did that because of probably the oil itself. I'm not sure. Because they were poured relatively around the same temperature and at the same time. So I did go ahead and make the room sprays too off camera. this one right here is missing a label. I actually need to get labels for that one. That one is suede. So I'm giving him suede, obsidian, and gilded. They look really good. I did decide to go ahead and make him a third candle for suede as well. But yeah, that was fine. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm hungry. It's 10 o'clock. I have not had dinner. I'm gonna wrap this up. And then if I don't come back tonight, which I probably won't, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Blessed be the name of the Most High God. We will declare that I'm in the storm of pressure. Hands lifted out to the Son of God. Thank you that good isn't what you do, good is who you are. In every season you're good, in every moment you're good. And we'll declare it forever, Jesus. But we never adopted the right attitude. Or in other words, we settle for a facelift when God wants to give you a heart transplant. And the humanity of Jesus teaches us, watch this everybody, that waiting is not passive. Waiting is not doing nothing. Waiting is not sitting around hoping things change. Waiting is learning how to trust God without taking matters into your own hands. I'm not talking to me, so I'm going to say it again. Waiting is learning how to trust God without taking matters into your own hands. And watch this, because many of us crash out because we've been told to wait on Jesus, but we've not been taught how to wait like Jesus. Come on. Do I need to run that back? Yeah. We've been told how to wait on Jesus, but we've not been taught how to wait like Jesus. Because waiting is not just something Jesus told us to do, it's also something that he did himself. He waited 30 years before he performed any miracles. 30 years before he did any ministry. He waited 40 days without food and prayed and fasted for 40 days to fight the enemy for a moment. I feel like pausing and parenthetically digressing right there, because he fasted and watch this. He fasted and prayed for 40 days only to fight the enemy for one moment. Because when you defeat you, the enemy is no contest for you. And I wonder, do I have anybody in the room today that in 2026, I'm preparing to win the battle between me, myself, because he didn't just die on the cross, he also hung on the cross. Because in his humanity, he wanted to show us how to manage life when it feels like people leave you hanging. And I wonder, do I have some people in the room today that look back over your life and in previous seasons when you wanted to give up, some kind of way you got the strength to hang in there. Do I have any believers in the room that you should have threw in the towel? You should have lost your mind a long time ago, but some kind of way you hung in there. I'm trying to get you to see is that impatience is an enemy to your increase. And for some of us, we know what it's like to rush into the wrong situations and opportunities. And you have to be careful, because when you rush it, you ruin it. And so God uses waiting. And most of us don't like waiting. Watch this, everybody. Are y'all ready for this? Some of us don't like being patient because we don't like becoming a patient. In other words, God tests us with time to perform spiritual surgery on our heart to determine if we can handle the favor on our life that he wants to get us. Because if we refuse the surgery, we'll fumble the favor. Which is why some of us feel like we keep going in cycles instead of new seasons. Because he said, I can't allow you to go into a new season with the residue of your dysfunction. Because if you get there, you won't keep it or stay there. But I wanted to have some people in the room that can shout not just over the promise, not just over the promotion, praise them for the process. Praise them if you learn how to worship and win at the same time. Are you still looking at me? Do I have any worshipers in the room? Who knows what it's like to praise God if you're not in the room? Praise him in the hallway. Praise him that you may not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. You're in process.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. The day is honestly almost over. We went to church this morning and then I came home. I crashed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. One thing I'm gonna do is get in my pajamas and I'm gonna take me a nap. Yeah, I am gonna do that. I took me a good nap and I'm trying to get this assignment finished before midnight. I'm almost finished. It's what? It's about 8:30 now. I'll probably be done about 9. So I really have not been doing nothing all day, y'all. I don't want to come on here and be boring because I really haven't been doing nothing since we got back from church. Had a little bit of dinner. We had Flower Child. I had, what did I get from Flower Child? I had some steak, some broccoli, and some gluten-free mac and cheese. Surprisingly, that mac and cheese be good. It just need a little salt, but it's good. Nevertheless, I ain't been on nothing today. It's been a very, very, very slow day. But I think overall it's been a pretty good weekend. No complaints my way. Do you have any complaints, Papa? Any complaints about your weekend? No? Okay. He's so freaking cute. I gotta get him, I gotta get his hair cut. He has a grooming appointment next week. Once you start not being able to see his eyes, I'm like, my baby need his hair cut. But, all right, y'all. I think it's been a long enough vlog. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in for another weekend vlog with me. I hope it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the things. And I will see you guys in the next one.